of Mr. Vince McMahon from the WWE. Now, if you guys know Vince McMahon, the former owner of the WWE, he had been accused of a lot of nasty little things. Vince McMahon had been accused of so many nasty things, and for some way, somehow, Vince McMahon has been able to crawl underneath the radar. With all of his allegations he's had against him, Vince McMahon have been able to I'm talking about to straight crawl underneath the radar, right? And his wife, whose name is Linda McMahon, I believe she was appointed by Donald J. Trump, right? So didn't Donald J. Trump put Linda McMahon in his cabinet, right? Do y'all know about that? Do y'all know about that? Let's talk about it. Donald J. Trump appointed Linda McMahon to his cabinet as a U.S. Secretary of Education. This was following her nomination by Donald Trump, and she was officially confirmed by the U.S. Senate on March 3rd, 2025 in a 51-45 vote. Right? Remember that? And Donald Trump specifically gave her the task of spearheading his campaign promise to shift the federal education power back to individual states. She has described her role as leading a final mission to decentralize the department federations or federal operations, I should say. And remember, how did Donald Trump get into lineup with Linda McMahon? Through Vince. Remember, Donald Trump used to be doing events over there at the WWE or the WWF at that time, right? So Donald Trump would be over there a lot. So he was cool. He was tight with Vince McMahon. So this is how he got into the circle and with Linda McMahon, right? This is how, right? So that is how she came about. Now, according to the reports, it says that they have now launched articles of impeachment. The Democrats have launched this against Linda McMahon. According to the reports, it says that Representative Suzanne Bonamici, a Democrat out of Oregon, on Thursday introduced articles of impeachment against Education Secretary Linda McMahon for attempting to abolish the Department of Education. Though Democrats have been critical of McMahon's agenda of dismantling the department she leads, Representative Suzanne's resolution is their first effort to impeach her. On the House floor on Thursday, the representative said that Linda McMahon has lied to Congress and scolded the secretary for making illegal transfers of critical education department functions to partner agencies. And that's Representative Suzanne right there. Bonamici, right? She says it's completely out of bounds. She told ABC News after her floor speech, you can't just unilaterally move a program that Congress put at the Department of Education and put it somewhere else, she said. The articles of impeachment argue that Linda McMahon has shown a willful and systemic refusal to comply with the law and that she's breached the public's trust while making false statements before Congress. And shout out to the homegirl Tijuana in that Cash App with the donations. Tijuana, salute to you. I see you in there. Much love to you, Tijuana. You know what I mean? She says, thank you, Ticket. This Love Joy 87, no doubt. I see you. Much love. Appreciate that. Y'all want to support? Links pinned at the top of the comments. Responding to the representative's post on X that she was announcing the plan to impeach Linda McMahon, the secretary wrote, the Democrats in Congress do better. It speaks volumes that the House Democrats think an impeachable offense is working to improve student outcomes and reduce the federal bureaucracy, Linda McMahon wrote. They must not be bothered by chronic failures of our education system that result in historic low test scores, a failed FAFSA form rollout, classrooms shuttered during the pandemic, designating parents, I should say, as terrorists in male and female locker rooms. Now, recently, the department announced a major step in the Trump administration's efforts to dismantle itself, moving special education services and civil rights responsibilities to the Departments of Health and Human Services and Justice DOJ, respectively. Department officials claim that the agency has broad authority to move the services, noting that policies and oversights made by these offices will be vested and remain at the educational department, saying students wouldn't lose any rights. Also, it says so far, the impeachment resolution has a growing list of more than a dozen Democratic co sponsors from across the caucus. But Democrats called to impeach Trump administration officials would have a long road ahead while they're in the minority. They would have to get a vote to impeach in the Republican-controlled House, and 2/3 of the Republican-controlled Senate would have to vote to convict. Meanwhile, the representative's resolution alleges that Mrs. McMahon has committed high crimes and misdemeanors. She also stressed that McMahon does not have the authority to winnow the agency through the partnerships with HHS and DOJ. And I quote, "This is not what interagency agreement is for," the representative said at the Capitol, on Thursday, adding that it's not to be used to shut down a department. The senior education committee member said she came to Congress over a decade ago to protect public education, and now she is fighting for the parents who are concerned about the department's move to shutter. From the stories I'm hearing in the community, especially from the disability right groups, I could not stand by, she told ABC News, adding that I'm not just going to sit by and stay silent when it's public education being dismantled and really harmed. Republican Education Committee Chairman Tim Walberg, a staunch supporter of Linda McMahon's policies, condemned his Democratic colleagues' efforts. He says Secretary McMahon is doing exactly what voters elected President Donald Trump to do: rein in a bloated bureaucracy, he said, and put students, parents, and taxpayers first, Walberg said. In a statement to ABC News, disagreeing with that agenda does not make it impeachable, Walberg added. Hold on one second, y'all. Tell this damn dog, shut up. Hey, shut that noise up, man. Shut it up.
Let me know when you're ready to continue our discussion about Linda McMahon.
Hold on, man. So, as I told y'all, right? And I'll say it again. Tell that dog sound there doing all the damn barking. My bad, y'all. I never trusted Linda McMahon. I always thought it was a bad hire. Every hire, I think Donald Trump has a bad hire. Let me tell you something. Not only Donald Trump, bro. All of these weasels, bro. From Donald Trump, back to Joe Biden, back to Barack Obama, and the list goes on, bro. I'm not pleased with none of them. I'm not pleased with any of the process in the school systems. What have you seen from the school systems? Right? What have you seen? What are they teaching your students? Right? These are very important things. What are they? Do parents even know what they're teaching the kids in schools? Really? Are you going over your kids' homework with them? Right? Think about what I just said. Are you doing that? Right? I want to ask y'all that question. Are you going over with your kids what they're teaching them in schools? Right? That's a real question. That's a real question I'm asking y'all. Straight up. Hold on, man. Hey, I tell you, shut the noise up. Well, shut it up then, man. Sit down. So, yeah, as I was telling y'all. Yeah, man, I'm not pleased with none of this stuff, man. Real talk, man. I think that there needs to be an entire overhaul in the school system, not only with what they're learning in the schools, but the security in the schools. I think this is an underspoken about issue that should be at the forefront. Why is that? Because we need to know how these youngins are being educated in the public school system. This is the reason why a lot of the parents are going to private schooling. This is the reason why a lot of parents are doing homeschooling or sending their kids to private schools, because of the foolishness that's going on in the public school system. Also, you combine that with the lack of safety. Look at all the things that's going on in the school system with the lack of safety. And you think, we got all this money, taxpayers paying all this money for all these wars overseas when you ain't even protecting your own home. Make it make sense. Students are being passed in class. Then you need to look at the teachers. Every single day on my other channel, you guys, I'm doing videos talking about another teacher doing something to a student. Come on, man. And I ain't talking about in a good way. I'm talking about in a sexual way. So what the hell is going on? Right? So yeah, I think it needs to be a complete over.